Sometimes when I watch a YouTube video, I realize it's very commercial. The shots aren't aesthetic, there's no wordplay or any creativity, and it just feels like everything is made to just feed the algorithm. Why do I have to search for an amazing video through a pile of hundreds of mediocre pieces of content that exist just to take my attention away? I just feel like art is kind of dead. So I set on a mission. I wanted to really see if art is dead in content creation and if I can do something to revive it, at least for my videos. Can I make videos that feel artistic while also getting views? Or will I forever have to feed the algorithm with stuff that a 5-year-old would watch, just because everyone is brainwashed by it? Do I even stand a chance? Well, I want to see. So in this video, I set out to find if art is really dead in videos. And I actually found that that is actually not the case. And I'm also going to talk about AI and how it influences the future of content creation. Okay, so when was the last time you watched a video on YouTube or Instagram and was incredibly impressed by it? I'm talking incredible lighting, composition, storytelling, something that was made out of passion, not just, great for money. Because I personally haven't seen one pop up in my feed for over a month. Isn't that a bit crazy? YouTube originally existed for the sole purpose of giving freedom to passionate people. It made creating videos accessible for everyone, but now what you see get pushed on your feed is often just brain rot that doesn't have any meaning beyond the surface level. I don't want that for my videos. I want my videos to stand out and to actually be remembered and watched because they spark something. So I did something. I searched for the most creative channels in the world right now. I'm talking Tunnel Vision, Johnny Harris, Casey Neistat, creators that aren't afraid to look closer. I studied their shots, their ideas and storytelling techniques, and I realized that art is not actually dead. It's just a bit harder to find. Here's the thing. We all know YouTube wants to maximize watch time. And there are so many channels that exploit your brain strings to make you watch a video for longer than you realize. You know all that. MrBeast and many other people do this because it's become a profitable business. But even if that gets pushed by the algorithm, that doesn't mean passionate creators are getting shut down. Did you know that cinematic content, like the actual search term for cinematic content, has spiked over the last year? More and more people actively look for cinematic videos that have meaning. And it's because we've been watching way too many videos that are just kind of slop. I think people want a change. And I think that change is already kind of happening. Because here's what I noticed when I went down the rabbit hole of studying these creators. The ones with the most loyal audiences aren't the ones with the most views. They're the ones that made you feel something. The people that invest in their artistic side are the ones that not only have the best communities and videos, but also the most money. You'd think the most popular videos online would pay the best, but really, creators that focus on art are way more valuable to people than creators who focus on views, because their videos are worth more. They're just more enjoyable. Johnny Harris, for example, has a paid community. CoffeeZilla has a Patreon with hundreds of subscribers. So they're not as popular, but they still make a lot of money while making videos they actually love. But how? Well, they focus on a few core things. Number one, and this is the most important one, it's their stories. They spend weeks coming up with an interesting story and keep working on it until it's perfect. They do the research, interview the people, and actually go to absurd heights to prove their point. Like Johnny Harris literally going to some of the most illegal and dangerous places in the world for a video. Number two is their shots. They understand lighting and composition and experiment with physical objects, editing, text, transitions, and many different mediums. And finally, number three, they're passionate about the videos they're making. They just don't care about the money. I mean, sure, it's great doing something you love and being paid for it, but really what's important is that they're doing this because they have something to say. Like the last point is the one that really got me, because you can learn lighting, you can learn composition, you can study story structure for months, but you cannot fake having something to say. And I think that is the real reason why some videos feel empty. Not because the creator is lazy, but because they sat down to make a video and had nothing to actually say. So I started asking myself, do I have something to say? Like, actually, not what should I make a video about, but what do I actually believe in strongly enough to spend weeks on my life on? And the answer was kind of uncomfortable, because sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just make a video because I feel like I need to post something. And watching all of these people made me realize that I am I'm wrong. If I'm not passionate about the video I make and I treat it like I have to do it in order to be successful, my entire dream crumbles. So I made a decision. I was gonna make one video, a video I actually believed in. No topic research, no SEO, no asking myself if it would even perform. Just something I was passionate about. And I wanna show you exactly what happened when I did that. Okay, so the video was actually about perfection and how beating it made me a better creator and also have more success. And it was a very important topic to me because I spent so much time obsessing over the tiny details in my videos to the point where I wouldn't even post stuff because of it. And in that video, I shared everything I went through, even if it was embarrassing, because I failed a lot. Like for almost a year, I was stuck under 200 followers with barely any views on Instagram, and perfectionism made me watch the same video 100 times before posting. It made me very unhappy. And this topic was something I really could talk about. You know, I didn't really care if it was gonna perform, I just wanted to share my experience. And it turned out to be one of the best videos I've ever made. I focused on the shots, I got super experimental, and spent almost a week doing the actual research. Look, art is something that makes someone care. And in YouTube videos, that means being yourself and being vulnerable and true. I know a lot of people on YouTube that will tell you pretty much everything you need to know to have success, but it doesn't work like that. A lot of what made this video so great was probably the lighting, composition, you know, the general camera work. But I'm not going to talk about any of this in this video because I've already made videos in the past about these things. Another thing that I saw with these really creative people is that they don't really have a normal niche. A lot of channels on YouTube will tell you to pick a niche like filmmaking or dancing and just make videos for that specific niche. But Gox, Christophe, and Johnny all do different things. They focus on their personality. If they want to make a video about Taco Bell, they will. And the crazy thing is, it's actually interesting. Like you'd want to watch until the very end because it's something they're passionate about. When we see passion, it's so strong that it makes us really interested in hearing a person's story. And making videos about the things you like rather than a niche is so difficult. You practically have to go against everything you know. I think the more we treat YouTube as a business or a system with a fixed structure, the more freedom we end up losing. I just want to make videos about the things I want. And I want them to be good enough to be remembered. I don't care about anything else. And this seems to be the common belief among all of these people. So the most important thing you can do to have videos that are meaningful and artistic is to just not give a shit. Dude, you're making videos because you love it. Stop worrying about it performing and just focus on making better videos. But the biggest problem right now with art and creativity is AI, because it allows you to create anything you want in just a few minutes. But instead of actually making creators more creative, it kills their creativity. And here's why. Okay, think about the last time you really struggled to make something. Like really struggled, where you had no idea what you were doing and you had to figure it out from scratch. That struggle, that's where your style comes from. Because when you're forced to work with your limitations, to start making decisions that are uniquely yours, you can't afford the shot, so you find a different way to get it. You don't know how to edit the transition, so you make something new. That's how Casey Neistat got his style. He was broke, filming in New York with almost nothing. So he had to be creative with the stuff he had. His limitations became his identity. AI has no limitations. You type a prompt and it gives you the most statistically average version of an idea. And the problem with that average is that it's built from everything that already exists. So you're not creating something new, you're just repeating the same things someone said. I actually tested this. I asked AI to write a script in my style and it was fine, I guess. Like technically it was okay, but it had nothing to say. It didn't sound like me. Because AI can copy a voice, but it cannot copy a reason. And that reason is always the most interesting part of a movie or a creation. Like, why did I make this video in the first place? Because I was genuinely angry that after opening YouTube, I didn't find anything interesting to watch. There was no art anywhere to be found, only slop. AI doesn't get angry, it just doesn't feel anything. And I think a lot of creators right now are using it as a shortcut to get past the hard part. The hard part being figuring out what you actually want to say. So instead of sitting with an idea for weeks, you just generate it. And the result is this weirdly incredibly uncanny valley of content that looks right but doesn't feel like anything. You can't explain it, but you feel it. But here's the thing I didn't expect when I started thinking about all of this. AI might actually save art. Not because it's gonna make better art, but because it's gonna make everything else so cheap and so dependable that real human creativity becomes the only thing worth watching. Think about it. When everyone can generate a decent video in 10 minutes, decent loses its value. The only thing, your weird obsessions, your embarrassing stories, your very specific way of seeing the world, that becomes the most valuable thing on the internet. So weirdly, the rise of AI is the best argument I've ever seen for just being you. Not a polished, optimized, algorithm-friendly version of you, just you, unfiltered, with something real to say. Because that's the one thing no model can generate. And the internet, whether it knows it or not, is really looking for it. So yeah, art isn't dead. This is just the beginning of something incredible. If you like this video, then like and subscribe, because I post twice a week and I really try my best to also post daily over on Instagram. If you want to follow me there, just search for Rob on Phil. Thanks for watching until the very end, and I really appreciate it. I feel so thankful that you found this so interesting, so that you just finished it. Anyway, that's it for this video, and see you in the next one.